Hi folks, so today I want to talk about a subject matter that has been talked about a gazillion times. We're going to make it a gazillion one. So let's talk about what I feel is the most neglected filter in the fish hobby today. What do you think that is? Think about that for a minute. This is what I see. See these filters right here? Probably, in my opinion only, this is the #1 filter that gets neglected in an aquarium by us fish hobbyists. And that's to include old timers, brand new fish keepers, middle grade fish keepers. Why is this filter seems to be the most neglected? Probably #1 reason, we just don't want to get our hands wet and pull up this nasty old sponge filter. So, in my opinion, you know, like I say, I think it is the most neglected, and me personally, I've been one known to neglect them. Recently have been started a series, you know, about water changes in my planted tanks. Has it made a difference? And in doing so, I created a spreadsheet on Excel, and what I've done is I put all my filters, water changes, hang-on backs, canisters, sponge filters, all of them in there with a due date. So that has really helped me keep on top of sponge filters. I don't know how you manage your sponge filters, but I definitely am glad that I built this spreadsheet. I can open it up and it'll either be green or it'll be red. When it's red, it tells me filters due maintenance. So today just happened to be a day that, oh my gosh, I got to do like 8 freaking sponge filters. So what I do, I went over there and I pulled all these sponge filters out, cleaned them, and now I have clean filters. I reset the due date. I've got these set to clean out once a month. Now for some people that have a good habit of cleaning these all the time, they may say once a month's too long. And it may be for some folks. For me, I guess it really depends on the tank and the load that you have in there. Because I do have my 29 gallon that's up behind you, and I do that sponge filter probably every 2 weeks. So now let's talk about sponge filters in general. There's 2 different kinds basically. So you have this style, which I'm going to kind of get it up close. See how fine the particles of these are? I'm becoming more and more fond of these just for the fact that these guys trap a lot of fine material. They do a really good job of filtering you know, the garbage that's in your water, compared to, I have these kinds that have this really coarse, hopefully you can see it and it focuses on it, but has these really coarse, porous things. So here's the problem with these coarse ones. Not that they're bad, the coarse ones do a good job just as well. The biggest drawback for me, and I still have coarse ones in tanks, so just to tell you that I'm not just saying that I don't like these, because I do like these. They do have a purpose. But one of the drawbacks from these is, man, you pull that filter up out of the water, and because it's really coarse, a lot of the garbage just falls off. So I see, you know, a lot of folks, Corey from Aquarium Co-op has done a video on them, and there's a couple other folks I've seen where they take a bag or something and put it underneath the sponge filter and then pull it up out of the water. Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but in my tanks, because they're so heavily planted, yeah, it's really not easy to do that. So I just pull them out and whatever happens, happens. But I can tell you with honesty, these finer ones, yeah, you're going to lose some, but not nowhere near as much as these big coarse ones. These coarse ones will drop garbage right back into your tank. And thus, the reason why on my ones with the coarse filters, I clean them a lot more often than I do these guys. Just because these guys just drop so much stuff, and you clean it and you put it back in there, and a day or two later it's sucked all that stuff back up that's floating in the water column. So I kind of have to clean these a little bit more often. And then, you know, these guys, if you don't maintain them, they become useless, you know, so you have to clean these guys. And like I say, depending on your tank and your amount of detritus or loam or whatever that's in your tank, is how often you need to clean them. For me, right now, I'm doing them once a month, and that seems to be sufficient. And they still flow and seem to do the thing. So yeah, that's a good thing with these. And I do, like I say, I'm moving more and more towards these finer sponges, just for the simple fact, I mean, biologically they have more surface area for biological bacteria, you know, beneficial bacteria. They also trap a lot more stuff in there, so they do take a little bit more time to clean. So let's talk about another subject, pre-filters. So all of my filters that are either canister filters or hang-on-back filters, they all have pre-filters on there. Why is a pre-filter a good idea? Well, pre-filter, well, number one, it helps allow your maintenance time on your filter itself to be extended, because this will trap more of the stuff in your tank before it even gets to your filter. And my 40 breeder, which is right over here, so that tank this morning, I was listening to Jesse's live stream, and that particular filter, and it's a Title Series, I think it's a 55, don't remember, but that particular filter, when the sponge or the pre-filter gets boogered up real good and I haven't been maintaining it, it starts making noise. It'll go so great sound effects, right? So that's what it was doing this morning. So while I was watching Jesse's live stream, I shut the filter off, pulled the stem off the Title Series, and took the pre-filter and cleaned it out. And oh my gosh, I mean, it was packed full of garbage, right? And these pre-filters, they're all like this guy. They're all the coarse style filter media, basically. My FX6s, I've modified them and got rid of that big basket thing that comes with the FX6, and I just took the tube and I drilled holes in it. I bought a coarse pre-filter from Aquarium Co-op, and this is another actual pre-filter from Aquarium Co-op, but a smaller version. But I use that on my FX6s, and what I did is I got some vinyl tubing. I have some 3/4 inch vinyl tubing that I use to drain my tanks with, and I also have some 1-inch vinyl tubing. I bought it for some reason, and for some reason I never used it, so I got like a 25-foot roll of it. So I just cut off a little piece of that 1-inch vinyl tubing about this wide, and I cut a slot in it, opened it up, slide it over the FX6 intake tube, slide my sponge filter up on it, and it holds it just like that because of that little piece of vinyl tubing on there. Other people have done, you know, with whatever they make to hold it on there, because if you take the big one from Aquarium Co-op and you slide it up on the FX6, it will just fall off. You need something, make it a little bit bigger to hold it. So anyway, guys, that's my little spiel for today about number one, our most neglected filters that I believe in the hobby are our sponge filters. We tend to neglect them because it's much easier to take a hang-on back and shut it off and pull the tray out, go take it and clean it. Take your canister filter, you take it outside and you clean it. A lot easier than wanting to go dig your hands in a tank, pull this filter up out of your sponge filter, and it's got all this nasty garbage falling off of it, Dirt is up our tank, and we neglect them. Let me know how you feel. Are you neglecting your sponge filters? I know I have. What about you? Anyway, folks, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And oh, by the way, I don't know how this video is going to turn out because I've got a brand new camera I just bought and it wasn't cheap, and I'm over here experimenting. I don't know how the video is going to turn out. There's so many settings on this thing, and I'm watching lots of YouTube videos on this particular camera. So until I get it figured out, where it's at right now. Hopefully this thing comes out good and clean and the sound sounds good. I have an external mic hooked to it with a little remote right here, and it's plugged, the main piece is plugged into the camera. So anyhow, we're experimenting with new stuff and going from there. Alrighty folks, you have a great time. Love y'all. Bye-bye.